Well, good morning and welcome to the Great Hall here in Edinburgh Castle. My name is Corporal Elvis Presley. This is John Lennon. We're going to tell you a wee bit today, just a tiny part of Edinburgh Castle's history, live interpretation, that of the Jacobite uprising in 1745. Now, Edinburgh Castle, throughout its history, has been attacked more times than we can actually remember. This castle has never, ever, in its entire history, been taken by force. Many have tried, everyone has failed. The castle has been surrendered to opponents through time, but no one has ever managed to breach the secure fortress that is Edinburgh Castle. In 1745, Highland clansmen like MacDonald to my left here did of course have a go, and spectacular failure was the result. They came to Edinburgh with Charles Edward Stuart, the pretender to the British throne. These Highland clansmen had walked from the north of Scotland in support of this Stuart monarchy, which was from start to finish a complete disaster for these Highland clansmen. In 1745, they took the city of Edinburgh without any sort of fight whatsoever. When it came to the castle, they met the guns, of course, of the Royal North British Fusiliers. That is I, Corporal John MacDonald. Now, the Highlanders, of course, were in fact most of them supporters of the Prince. Many of them were not. Not every Highland clansman fought in support of the Stuarts. I am indeed a Highlander by birth. I was born in Inverness, raised in Inverness, and posted here to Edinburgh during the times of troubles. These Highland clansmen, of course, nothing but filth, vagabonds, no sense of direction in life, and basically probably come to fight just for the fact is a wee bit of excitement in their daily, boring life. Now, the Highland clansmen, you can see, is very distinctive. Today we know that the Philly-Moore, what he's wearing there, the kilt, is the national dress of Scotland, probably the most distinguishable national dress anywhere in the world, and as Scotsmen we're both very proud of it. Now, I wouldn't say that our national dress is better than any other country's national dress. What I would say is that no one's as good as ours. Simple as that. The good thing about Scottish national dress, you do not need to be Scots to wear the kilt. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Doesn't matter what colour you are, we even let the English wear it. Is there anyone in from England? Apart from you, sir, don't you wear it, because you just won't look good in it. Now, the term, of course, national dress, you do not need to be Scottish to wear it. That is a myth. It's quite a bad myth, actually. Anybody can wear the Highland dress. It doesn't matter if you're a clan or not. It's very unique, of course, in the way that it wraps around the body. In Gaelic, we call it the Philly-Moore. MacDonald is going to actually demonstrate how this is actually worn. Now, what he's got here is, it's all one piece of material. Bring that over. The Philly-Moore is not a modern day kilt. A modern day kilt is quite similar just to a lady's dress that you just wrap around and put on. This here actually has quite a complicated process of being constructed and worn. For a start, what MacDonald is wearing is slightly longer than what we have here. We've just got this size basically for speed. This is called the Philly-Moore, which in Gaelic, of course, in English means the great blanket or the big cover. Now, MacDonald's is actually about 3 yards longer than this, about maybe 7 yards in length. It's 60 inches wide, the same as this here, and it's constructed by Wallen Naked.
Now, construct the Philly-Moore, you simply put your heels at the edge of the cloth, and then you kneel down. Then you reach about a foot in front of you. Grip it with this 2 points and start pleating it.
Now, these pleats are formed up with the folds in a modern kilt. If you look at the back of some of the Stuarts today who are wearing the kilt, just look at them, don't touch them. Okay, they're very touchy here, probably bite your hand off. The pleats in the back of the kilt, of course, take up the excess material. Now, there's all sorts of myths and legends associated with the Philly-Moore, most of which the Highland clansmen actually perpetrated. Highlanders used to spread stories that between the pleats of the kilt here, the Philly-Moore, they kept witches, demons, supernatural spirits. And on one occasion in 1689, Dutch soldiers told of the devil himself appearing from the back of the Filly War. Now I can assure you there's no witches, no demons, no supernatural spirits, and certainly not the devil can hide within these fleets of the Scottish Filly War. And there's nothing in these Filly War but fresh air and the occasional smell of whisky, of course. Now, we're looking for a volunteer. We're looking for quite a slim volunteer. You'll do there, yes, you, young lady. You come up here. Yeah, you come up here. Now, you come up now. What's your name? What is it? Rachel. Now, Rachel's not very Scottish, so we'll call you Angus, okay? So, you come up here. Now, where are you from, Rachel? Texas, right, Texas. What's near Glasgow? Right. Now, what we do is just sit down on the fleece here, Rachel. That's it. Put your feet out flat in front of you, Rachel, and then just lie back and think of the sunshine in Texas. Put your hand above your head, like that.
Then you simply over
You take both ends and just drop them over the front like so. Now, we'll let it breathe. I think. There we go. Right. So, we've got this here. Next, you need a tight leather belt. We've got a piece of rope here. So, Rachel, if you just lift your waist up. No, your waist. That's your waist there in the middle. Right. Suck it in a bit. That's it. Right, back down. That was a big one, wasn't it? Right, now this has to be very tight. Okay, so you grab that in. 1, 2, 3, go! Right. Right, so, there we go. If you give us a hand each, Angus, up you get. When you stand up, it simply drops to the ground like that off the dress. Now, no, it's not that good yet, believe it or not. Next of all, what we do is, we take both the corners, front of the Filly War, and we turn around Angus like this. What we do is, we give you what we call in Gaelic a reverse wedgie, which means we cut that down the back, just in there like that. You take too long with that. Now, then what we do is, we pull it into a point, bring this over like this and then up.
Wow.
Very good, isn't it?
Whoa.
You can see, I didn't tell you to turn around. You've got these pleats in the back, see the pants, do that. That's it. Like so, you've got the bag, turn it around the front, she now resembles a Highland Clansman. Turn the bag in front.
Oh, yeah. No Edinburgh is complete.
Yeah. Oh.
I've no idea why the bonnet is blue and why it's traditional, it just is. I do know that this, the white cockade, is on it because when Bonnie Prince Charles landed, they kept a white Highland rose and stuck it in his hat, and then every Highlander did it thereafter.
You will notice that I have a black nose because I am a Hanoverian. I support the British throne rather than this pretend Highlander's throne.
Boo that man. Now, thank you.
I've done one.
The amazing thing about the Filly Moor is, turn side on, this bit here is basically a giant pocket, bit of coup in it, it's massive. Now, you use this to store whatever you need to keep in it.
Wow.
And when you're going to sleep at night, you simply let go, unwrap this part, wrap it around you, put it tight. And it's actually an
Oh.
You can see she's covered from the back of the knees to the top of the head, and of course she's covered from the front of the knees to the top of the head. And as MacDonald says, it is actually quite a warm garment to sleep out in.
Far too warm, not good.
Right? There we go. You're going to warm now.
Now, the next thing we'll equip her with is the traditional Scottish shield, known as a targe. This, are you left or right hand? Good. So your left hand. This simply gets slipped on the left arm through this one. That. And on the front you'll see it's got quite a nice design on it. These are traditional Pictish patterns, part of ancestry. And the other clever thing about the targe, besides the fact that most races had given up the use of shields, so it gave the Scots a supreme advantage in hand-to-hand combat, is this. You unscrew the centre box and screw this in. Then you have a defensive weapon as well as a defensive shield. You would use this to punch through the eye, into the mouth, through the throat. The next piece of kit is the... excited about that. This is the clay moor, meaning broadsword. Look fierce.
Look fierce, not silly. Shout, Hanida!
Do it.
Hanida. Do you see what I'm going to get? Get you. Now, the Highland Clansmen, of course, had a fierce reputation up until 1746. From the year before, they had won a succession of 3 battles. They had taken Edinburgh rather easily, they took Carlisle rather easily, and they took Derby rather easily. When they made their way back north in December of 1745, on their way back to Edinburgh, they stopped at a place called Falkirk in January 1746. There, they had an overwhelming victory over the British Army. However, when they marched north, the Highland Clansmen did come across the bulk of the British Army, that is, which I represent. Now, the Highland Clansmen here also had another weapon. This weapon, to be quite honest, was probably the most fearsome weapon that you would face with the Highland charge. Now, the Highland charge is when the Clansmen simply broke their lines and ran or charged towards the opposition forces. They had relied on this tactic throughout their spell marching south to England. They had relied on this tactic, of course, at Falkirk when they won. However, at Culloden in 1746, the British Army were ready for it this time. What they weren't prepared for was this secret weapon that some of the Clansmen employed, an ancient, very, very ancient tactic of warfare indeed. The Clansmen had one last secret weapon. Prior to charging into battle, they would take their swords and stick the swords in the heather. They would take their tarbs and lay their tarbs down. The secret weapon is this. They would reach under the feely moor, they would take their belt, and they would grab their belt, let it go, and when they let it go, oh my God, when they let it go, they would step out